That may just be the best shot in 2020.
Happy Friday, November the 11th, 2020. Ron invited me out to hunt with him in West Texas. There's just something about this part of Texas that always strikes a chord with me. Ron informed me that he'd been seeing two different sounders roaming throughout his property. He gave me free rein to spot and stalk the entire area. Tonight I'd be using my Precision 6.5 Creedmoor topped with the FLIR 736 Thermosight Pro with a new custom load I developed for the Hammer 124 grain hunter bullet. For those of you that are interested, I'm doing a video series on developing a parent load for hunting applications for bullets that fall within plus or minus 5 grains of one another. Comment below and I will add you to that series. I did a lot of walking and scanning between 6 to 10 p.m. Ron informed me that an unexpected thunderstorm had developed to the west and was supposed to hit us around 10 p.m. For those of you who don't know, you don't mess with Texas weather. It was 80 degrees when I drove in, and we have a chance of snow this weekend. The storm was going to pass through around midnight. I would give myself 1 hour to try to call in a coyote. Boy, was I surprised when I turned on my thermal after crossing the gate.
I do believe we got some hogs, but the wind is completely wrong. Let me get behind my FLIR and double check these guys.
I would shoot from the gate. There was a closer group, but they were buried in the mesquite. These last two looked like they could step into a clearing, so I just waited. At a distance of 180 yards, the Hammer 124 grain hunter bullet anchored this 200-pound sow, impacting her at 2,819 feet per second, completely passing through her, delivering 2,188 foot-pounds of energy. I went over to the big field, fully intending to try to call in a coyote, but as soon as I got into the area, I heard my neighbor shoot. Not being able to identify his location, I decided to call it a night. On my way back, I gave it one last scan, and I couldn't believe, but there was a boar in the barn.
Boar in the barn. Boar in the barn.
Just then, these horses spooked off the boar. I quickly moved to the opposite side of the barn to try to intercept him. Again, the wind was completely wrong for the shot. The boar seemed to be comfortably feeding. I just needed him to step into a good lane. For the next few minutes, I kept readjusting to his movements, trying to find that perfect lane. I kept zooming my thermal in and out to make sure there wasn't a twig or limb in the line of fire. I finally committed to this lane between the trees and needed him to take one more step.
Sniper! That was legit. Love it. Last time you eat out of a barn. That may just be the best shot in 2020.
This is the second hog, and I've got to GPS this location because you guys won't believe it, but I was way down. You can't even see it, but way beyond those trees, and it's got to be over 100-yard shot through all of this jungle. But look at that, completely disemboweled him. But more importantly, oh my gosh, it must have struck a limb, because that is the internal damage and that's the external damage. So that bullet was definitely tumbling by the time it hit him, but he dropped on the spot. He's about 150-pound little boar. Amazing. Best shot of 2020 right there. At a distance of 160 yards, the Hammer 124 grain hunter bullet tumbled and yawed into this boar, blowing apart his upper shoulder at 2,858 feet per second, completely disemboweling him at 2,249 foot-pounds of energy. Thanks, Ron, for the invitation. I always love hunting out in West Texas. I'm headed back to North Texas tomorrow to hunt with the Hornady 123 grain SST. Be sure to comment below if you're interested in the parent load for hunting application video series. Also comment below on your most epic hunting shot. And as always, stay tuned for my next adventure.